And welcome to Premier League Punters here at Odds Market, featuring at Flash.
Well,
How's everyone doing?
15 seconds in and I'm getting absolute daggers.
But if you don't watch any of Flash's videos, you'll notice there's a lot of ats, and he gets confused of where to put the words at. I'm just ribbing him. Welcome to the show. Happy Thanksgiving to our American friends across the pond. We are in, I'm kind of in Thanksgiving mood, I have to say. I'm feeling Thanksgiving. I think it's a really nice holiday to be thankful. What are you thankful for? Of the many things that you have to be thankful for?
Oh no, I'm just thankful for everything. But holiday and Thanksgiving are not one of them, because I'm happy for Thanksgiving, but holiday for me is like 2 weeks long. And this is a holiday, and by the way, we're working.
Well, you know, show must go on. We've got to pick winners, don't we?
Oh no, some of us need it more than others.
Well, you're not too thankful about that Arsenal win to 0, were you?
Or Arsenal in general, and it wasn't just Arsenal. I think I maybe went 1-8 last week, so licking my wounds, they're wide open. I need to stitch them up, put bandages on, and slowly catchy monkey.
Yeah, I do say, don't bet Arsenal win to 0.
No, I'm not betting Arsenal.
It's like a toss of a coin.
I know.
And more like it's a toss of a coin with like two heads on either side, and you go for tails.
Oh, the actual goal. If my boys, when I coached, were under 11s, had done it, I would have booted every one of them and their parents. They turned their back, they walked, they weren't even aware. So for me, Arsenal, no, I'm saying that's it now, finish with Arsenal. And then they got Norwich away. And I'm like, ah!
No, still.
Can't go near
it. And how about my Sheffield United double chance?
Yeah.
Kerching.
Yeah, I think you go against Sheffield United.
Fade Manchester United. That's my advice. So you're just passing on Arsenal.
Today, by the way. I went with Aston, both double chance. Yeah, at like 1.85.
I thought you were going to say like Aston Villa, like you're giving them like making them sound like Mrs. Bouquet.
But I would be aware of Man United. They actually put a youth team out tonight, apart from Lingard and Luke Shaw, and they went 1-0 up, and they got beat 2-1. They looked an absolute joke, but that means that every single one of their players come Aston Villa game at the weekend, they're going to be rested and ready.
Cool. Well, listen, let's bring on the third guest here. He's waiting in the wings. I'm dying to hear how Mr. Money, Martin Green, is doing. I'm sure his pockets are fuller than ever. Hello, Martin. Welcome to the Premier League Punters. Here we are, the trio. How's everything?
Hello, Natalie. I'm doing good, thanks. I am thankful that my children don't play for Flash's football team, because I don't want them getting booted or myself getting booted. But otherwise, doing good. We had a good weekend last time around in Premier League Punters. I did anyway. Wasn't quite so successful with La Liga, but brought up some good Premier League profits. So I'm hoping to maintain that streak this time around.
Yeah, well, you've got to share a few of your winning luck with our Flash here. He's struggling a little, aren't you?
I am.
You didn't have a good weekend.
No, totally on the wrong jig. I thought that I'd actually pulled one out of the bag at 2.75 with Crystal Palace double chance against Liverpool. 4 minutes to go, and then Liverpool find a way. I did tell people that Salah wouldn't play, and then everyone was saying, oh, they will. My people don't get it wrong very often. But I've made a few phone calls this week to find out what has gone wrong with certain sides. I mean, Norwich hadn't scored since the opening day of the season in Merseyside. Obviously at Liverpool, they got beat 4-1. They go to Everton and they win 2-0. And the boys tell me it was at a canter.
Yeah. Well, listen, let us start now. Rafa, do we have the graphics to show up? Yes, we do. It says Paddy's 1996. There's too many easy games this weekend in Premier League. I don't know. I'm gonna hope and think that you mean as far, because I feel really confident about my picks. I think there's a couple of passes, but the picks that I've chosen I really like.
Well, that's always a bonus when you make a pick and you like it, because you don't want to be making picks that you don't like. But
no, I feel confident.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem we've got such heavy favourites. It's finding the way to get the right value. I've gone into a situation where I've been bitten a few times where I pick the right winner, I pick near enough the right way, but I don't get paid. So I've gone to that well again.
So close, yet so far.
Yeah, that old chestnut.
All right, we have Magnus from the doll and the gent, love from Sweden. Woohoo! My father is Swedish, so we got a little. That's nice. Welcome to the show, Magnus. And Akira says, "Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well." All right. Newcastle versus Man City, Premier League Week 14. Newcastle 17, Man City 1.2. It is an absolute must-win for the citizens. They're in third in Week 14, but it is close up top. But again, it is a must-win. Newcastle, though, they like to keep games tight. I think they've conceded like 4 goals. I know citizens, they're a scoring machine. How does this translate in terms of goals? I think Man City, they've got to win this. They are on the road. Martin, what do you predict? If you had to predict a scoreline?
If I had to predict the scoreline, I would go 2-0 to Man City. I think they'll get the job done here. I have been impressed with Newcastle at times lately. They weren't so good away at Aston Villa, but they did string a couple of wins together before that. But I think Man City should have just about enough to overwhelm them. Newcastle play with a back 5 typically and a couple of holding midfielders in front of them. So it does take real creative geniuses to unlock that defence. But Man City have that in abundance in the likes of De Bruyne and David Silva. So I think they will unlock this tight Newcastle defence. Aguero's missing. He's out injured. So I think Gabriel Jesus will play up front. Their attack might be a little bit blunted, so I'm not predicting like a 5-0 win for Man City or anything like that. So I think I'm just going to go for a classic option, which is the Man City in the under 4.5 goals, and I got 1.67 on that.
1.67.
Yeah, not exactly huge, but I'm happy with that.
Mavano, Man City and under 3.5 goals. King George, Man City and Martin, classic. I am actually looking at the unders. I'm going to, I think that I agree everything you say there, Martin. I agree on that sort of 2-0, 2-1, something like that. I'm actually going for the under 3.5 goals, just as a straight bet, 1.8. I could combine it with the Man City actually for a little bit more value, because I do think that Man City will get the job done. So that's my bet. What have you got?
I've got Man City. I've gone back to the old faithful of Man City in under 3.5 at 2.25. I wrote an article on this. That will be on oddsmarket.com. I finally wrote an article, if Alex is watching. The problem you've got is with Newcastle, they've got injuries. They've got, obviously, Lascelles and Shah missed Monday night against Villa, where they were absolute joke. The brothers Grimm in midfield, they're both missing as well. Aguero's missing. So I see this as a game where Newcastle will just try and hang around in the game, try and keep it as tight as possible. But listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Man City just win the 1-0. But I think I'm going to just go for Man City and under 3.5 at 2.25.
Yeah, I definitely sound Newcastle, though. They are a team, aren't they, to not be trusted.
Oh, without a doubt. They went to West Ham and won 3-2 after being 3-0 up. But you've almost got a lot of the second-string players that are coming in. And you've got like Shelby, forgotten man, Hayden, forgotten man. Defence, he's gone with 5 at the back. Listen, I just think that Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, they will open them up at some stage.
Dono 7, Newcastle did beat them last season. Can lightning strike twice? Yes, it can. Because, under 3.5 goals, 1.8. Somebody's asking, Naveed is asking for a parlay. Yes, we have those. We will deliver those at the end of the show. Burnley versus Crystal. You've got one, don't you, Martin? Did you write the article on Odds Market?
It will be live tomorrow on Odds Market.
Oh, so you're late then, are you? Alex, he's late.
It's scheduled in for Friday.
Alex has been giving...
I'm never late. It'll be there.
Alex has been chasing Flash for his articles as well. Where are they? Hey? Yeah.
Because I've not been busy this week.
Burnley versus Crystal Palace. Burnley 2.35, Crystal Palace 3.5. Now, obviously, when I sort of looked at the past matches, I was like, right, Burnley, and I love backing Burnley at this price, at Turf Moor. But even though Crystal Palace have not won their last 5 matches, in fairness, they have played tough teams. Liverpool, Man City, Leicester, Chelsea, Arsenal. But, they've played tough teams. So... Sorry, Martin. So I was kind of like, ooh, I like Burnley, but then is it a trap? So I'm on the fence until I've spoken to you guys. What do you think?
Pass.
Well, that helped out a lot. Thank you.
No, the reason it's a pass because, as you say, Palace. I mean, listen, I wouldn't put anyone off the draw. Because I think this is a
Yeah,
game where
that's
you can make cases for both sides. Burnley have been getting better. They have been getting more organised. They obviously came on the back of a clean sheet last week. They've been scoring goals at home. But Crystal Palace are one of those sides that will hit you on the break and can make a fool of you if you go against them. So I wouldn't go against a draw, but for me, I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, they've definitely been put through the paces as well, their last 5 matches. And I think they're ready for a win. And Burnley could be in trouble. What do you think, Martin?
I appreciate those points, definitely. Crystal Palace have had a very, very tough run of form, which probably does skew their recent results in a bit of a bad light. But I still think I've been impressed with Burnley recently. They've won 4 out of 6 at Turf Moor, and they've been pretty good against Burnley, against Crystal Palace at home. They've beaten them in 2 of their last 3 games at Turf Moor. I just think in terms of confidence, Burnley have put 2 3-0 wins in a row together, and Crystal Palace are going to be a bit down, a bit dejected after that run of form. So going to go for the home team. At those odds, I can't ignore it. 2.35 just looks very attractive. Probably not going to be my banker or anything like that, but I have to go for it. Pull the trigger on Burnley. I think they'll be too strong, too physical for Crystal Palace in this one.
That's right, 2.35. I just forgot. I forgot to play the record, but we'll save it till a little bit later. We'll save it a little bit later, Rafa. We'll save.
Didn't you ask
save
Rafa
the best?
for it? I thought you
No,
said
I just said have we?
Oh, you've let him off the hook.
It was
Look
my
at the
fault.
Rafa's like nodding as if like Flash. You chucking me under the bus here?
Yes, poor Rafa. No, it's my fault. We'll wait to the end. Yeah, I just think. Yeah, I do like the Burnley winner. 2.35. Dono7, any chance for Arsenal tonight, Martin?
I'd stay well away from Arsenal right now, guys. They're planning a protest against Unai Emery tonight, trying to use a bit of fan power to get rid of him.
That's the fans, Martin, not the players.
That's the fans, yeah. But
because the players seem to be doing a protest against Emery on the pitch.
Yeah, the players aren't. I think they want him to get. When Lacazette scored the equaliser at the weekend, I think he was like almost sad that he'd scored because he helped Emery keep his job for another week. He didn't celebrate. He just went, oh.
Where did the 7 minutes of injury time come from? As a Southampton fan, and obviously the people that said to me that it was an absolute joke, we'll play till Arsenal equalise. 7 minutes.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I thought Southampton should have won it. They were the better team throughout, but in the end, I think they only had themselves to blame. Poor finishing, but it's bad times for Arsenal.
Yes, all right. So yeah, stay away. Flash will agree with that one as well.
Oof.
Chelsea versus West Ham now. Chelsea 1.34 at home, hosting West Ham 10.5. Another must-win here for Chelsea. 4th place, just 2 points behind Man City. They're playing a West Ham side winless in the last 8 games. Question, though, is whether West Ham can score. They haven't in their last 2 road matches to Everton and Burnley. So, and the reason I ask here, do we take, say, a Chelsea minus 1.5 if we think that West Ham can't score? I'm going to go to you for a correct score on this one.
I think it could be 3-0, 3-1.
It's on the fence on scoring.
No, because I'm going to go Chelsea minus 1.75. I think they definitely win by 2 clear goals. The big thing is I feel for West Ham... I think that Pellegrini could well be the next manager sacked. I watched him again closely last week. 2 weeks on the trot, or 2 games on the trot, they've gone 3-0 down and then they start playing. But don't get drawn into that. It's not them starting to play, it's the teams that are 3-0 up that have took their foot off the gas. They went 3-0 down at home to Newcastle. Then they went 3-0 down at home to Spurs. Brought both games back to 3-2. Not for me, West Ham. Chelsea, minus 1.75. I think they're probably the 2nd or 3rd best side at the moment, out as on form and confidence. I'll put them in with Leicester. They look like they're going to score every time they go forward. They're creating. They're enjoying life. I say a minimum of 2 goals.
Yeah. We've got Movano, Chelsea to score 3 at 1.96. But we've got a couple of Chelsea half-time, full-times. But King George, West Ham double chance. Maybe he knows something we don't. But that's definitely not a bet I'm going to be playing, going against Chelsea on their home turf. What are you going for, Martin?
The next Premier League manager to be sacked market is interesting at the moment. Obviously, Unai Emery's the heavy favourite. Then you've got Marco Silva, who's Everton side are on a dreadful run of form, and then it's Pellegrini, but it could be any one of those three. They're all in real trouble at the moment, and I just can't see where Pellegrini's going to get a win from with this West Ham side. They've always struggled defensively, and Pellegrini is not a defensive coach. He always sends his teams out to attack. It leaves them terribly exposed, and they just get ripped apart. I think Chelsea will beat them comfortably. They need a win. They've gone 2 games without one now, and that's sort of derailed their momentum a bit. But West Ham at home, you look at that fixture, and that is one that you really, really should be winning. I think Tammy Abraham might miss it. He picked up a knock in midweek, but that could be a good opportunity for someone like Michy Batshuayi to come in and excel. Chelsea should just be far too strong for them. I'm going for Chelsea minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at odds of 1.83.
Yeah, so on the same page here. I like Chelsea minus 1.5 at 1.77. I also like Chelsea and the under 4.5 goals. Doubtful if West Ham can score, but I think we're looking at a 3-0 or a 3-1 or something like that. And Chelsea in the under 4.5 goals is 1.83. And we do have somebody here. What is an Asian handicap, Martin? We won't ask Flash because he's just got onto it this season. So you're probably not going to be your best, but we're going to ask Martin.
Yeah, ask Martin.
Yeah, we'll ask Martin. Martin, what is an Asian handicap?
An Asian handicap, well, minus 1.5 Asian handicap means that the team that you're betting on starts at minus 1.5 goals down. So they need to win by 2 clear goals in order for your bet to pay off. But if it does, you're rewarded with a much higher potential payout. And then you can get into things like Flash went for minus 1.75 Asian handicap. That means that if Chelsea win by 2 clear goals, you get half win, you get half of the money. But if they win by 3 or more goals, you get the full amount of money, which is be higher than minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap. So giving yourself those little 0.25s, it makes it harder to win, but your reward is a greater payout if successful.
So I'm learning something new then. So let me get this straight. I've gone Chelsea minus 1.75, right? Mm-hmm. They win 2-0, I win.
You get half win.
Why only half?
You've got to do,
Because I'm winning 2 goals to 1.75 goals.
Flash.
No, that's not how it works.
That's where I've been going wrong.
That's why I've gone for minus 1.5 Asian handicap, because if they win by 2 clear goals, I get a full win. Whereas 1.75 is a way of saying, I think they're going to win by 3 goals, but I'm not quite sure. It might be 2 goals.
Well, for me, I'm just thinking they're going to win by 2 goals because 2 goals beats 1.75 goals.
Yeah, but then you should do minus 1.5.
Well, no, I'm learning, aren't I?
Well, yeah, well, you can change it because it's on camera. So there's your thing. Here, so this, if you go to Wikipedia and you type in Asian handicap in Google search, and this here breaks it down for you, because then obviously you can do a plus as well. So you can give them like a plus 1 goal or 2 goal lead. The great thing with Asian handicap, and compared to the Euro, what it just called the handicap, which Flash used to play, is you're only sort of limited by doing, say, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So if it's minus 1, then they've got to win by 2 clear goals. Yeah. But with Asian handicap, you can do minus 1 and sort of protect you as a push. So if they only win by 1 goal, you actually get your money back. Wow. Playing minus 1.5, there they have to win by 2 goals, otherwise you lose. But I recommend Google Asian handicap and the Wikipedia page, and it breaks it all down for you. To go to your homework, see? Never too late.
I'm not happy now because I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got like 4.
We'll change them all to 1.5.
Well, yeah, but I've got to change the prices.
Minus 1.5. That's okay.
Okay,
so this one is Chelsea minus 1.5 is 1.77.
1.77, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
See?
Yeah.
You can teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, very old dog, and I'm not happy with the tricks. Because that's rude, that. 1.75 goals, I'm giving up, and I score 2. That means I win by a quarter of a goal. Win. Not lose, not win half.
But we didn't set the rules. We just followed them, Flash. All right. So yeah, I'm liking Chelsea minus 1.5 and Chelsea and the under 4.5 goals at 1.83. Liverpool, Brighton now. Liverpool 1.22 at home. I believe they should be picking up another 3 points here, hosting 12th place Brighton. Question is how will they win and how can we get some money? So what are you playing?
I'm going Liverpool all the way. I think Liverpool score a minimum of 3 goals. Win 3-0 minimum. So I'm going with Liverpool minus 2.5 goals. So if they score 3, do I win?
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's good. I haven't got a clue about the odds now, though, because I did 2.75 where they win 3-0, I don't win, which is crazy.
Yeah, but you add it to your record. You add it to the bet diary afterwards, so just make sure you
Yeah, I
get
will do, but just for people at home, it's Liverpool -2.5, and I think they'll win minimum 3-0.
Okay.
I will find the odds for that.
Yeah,
first.
see,
Just
that's
give me a
nice. I
sec.
like that.
So that is, you can get odds of 3.5 on that.
3.5.
What, -2.5?
Yeah, well, actually, if you go to Unibet, you can get 3.62.
Oh, I had 3.6 originally, so maybe I've just wrote it wrongly.
Nothing like professionalism.
Well, because
Hey,
I've been trying to cover every single angle. I'm 11 units down, but you'll see that.
Oh, sorry, 2.62.
2 now. 2.62 now. See, I'm even losing with my own teammate, and we haven't even seen the games yet. 2.62, yeah, for -2.5.
Yeah.
So I don't know where do you get that 3.62 from then?
Well,
No, but I appreciate you
It's been a long
looking.
day for him. It's evening time, and it's
I
probably like his
appreciate-
eyes are a little bit.
Yeah,
like
but he
they're
ain't
too
done,
long.
he ain't done them articles yet, has he? He hasn't done them articles yet, though, has he, Alex? Come on.
All right, so you're going Liverpool -2.5,
I am.
expecting goals. Brighton to score?
No.
Okay, so you'll have 3-0. What are you going for, Martin?
I have to say I'm being less ambitious than Flash. I do think Liverpool will win. They often crush Brighton. They've beaten heavily a few times recently. But Brighton can be quite dogged defensively at times. So I'm just going to go -1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.7. Yeah, that's equivalent to a -1 European handicap. -1.5 Asian handicap at 1.7. I think they should win this by a couple of goals at least. But you never know. You never know. They weren't too impressive in that game against Napoli yesterday, which could set alarm bells ringing. But in the Premier League, they seem to be, immaculate, especially at home. They've won 6 out of 6, and Brighton don't travel well. They lost 3-1 at Old Trafford in their last away game. So, yeah, I think reasonably comfortable home win here. Wouldn't put you off putting it further like Flash has on the Asian handicap. I'm just going to stick to 1.5.
Yeah. Question here, Dark Elf. What site do you guys use to see the odds of different bookmakers on a specific site? Odds Market. That's what Odds Market.
Odds Market.
Odds Market. What we coming at you from Odds Market. It's an odds comparison site. So look no further. We've also got the tips section, articles written by these two fine fellas, and more. So Odds Market is like your one-stop shop. We do video, we do articles, we do odds comparison. You don't need to go anywhere else. Okay, Liverpool and the under 4.5 goals. I'm going the under 4.5 goals. I suppose I could have gone it the other way and do the over 1.5, for example. It's 1.65. It's higher than my low of 1.62. Liverpool have only won one match over 4 goals, and that was in the beginning, their season opener, hosting Norwich, yes it was. And so yeah, I don't think we're going to see 5 goals in this match, and I actually quite like it. 1.65. It's not going to make me a millionaire overnight. It's not going to put a steak dinner on my table, but I think it's going to win 1.65. Spurs versus Bournemouth now. Spurs 1.4, Bournemouth 8.25. Since obviously Spurs sacked their manager, we have seen they've definitely picked up the pace. We knew that was going to happen. I don't know for how long. I think betting on Spurs, I think personally is risky, and I personally wouldn't put Spurs in an ACCA. That's all I'm saying. And I think this is that I have 2 passes, I believe, or 3 maybe, but this is definitely a pass for me.
Oh no, I like this game. I think Spurs will win this game. And I've got -1.5, but I need a price, Martin, because I went 1.75. I think they win by 2 clear goals. I've got this being 3-0, 3-1. I think Bournemouth, yes, they're not the same Bournemouth as we'd seen before when they're all guns blazing. They're trying to be a little bit more conservative. But I think Spurs, they're playing on the front foot. Dele Alli's trying to play a little bit better, even though he said his form has not worried him in whatsoever. Ericsson, he came on the other night and changed the game. So for me, Spurs -1.5 at a price. I'm expecting it to be around 2.1.
2.05, yeah.
There you go, I'm happy with that. 2.05, Spurs -1.5. But I've got it being 3-0, 3-1, so I'm not bothered about the 1.5.
I don't know. I think the Spurs bubble might, but I don't know. I'm going to wait and see.
Burst,
Just
it
for
hasn't even got up
yeah,
yet,
but
is it?
well, it has 2 matches, hasn't it?
I know, but they were 2-0
I would say
down
that's-
against Olympiacos.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, what are you going for, Martin?
I'm agreeing with you, Natalie. I'm going to pass on this one. I'm a bit worried about Tottenham lately, just because of the way they've been defending. They've been pretty poor at the back,
True.
and Bournemouth are the sort of team that can hurt you when they go forward because they do have very good players. I just feel like this could go either way, really. Tottenham could thrash Bournemouth, or they could really put in a laboured performance. And I'm still not sure what sort of impact Jose Mourinho is having on in the training ground. He could be furious to see all these goals going in, and he could really get them to tighten up in this game. Or he could just say, look, it's working, go for it, keep going, and try and win 3-1, 4-2, something like that. I just think it's a little bit early in his reign to be betting on them right now at odds of 1.4. It just doesn't really appeal.
Yeah, I agree. No play for me as well. And even Spurs for Anaka, absolute pass for me. I think 1.4 is very low. Mauricio says, guys, do you ever bet a team total goals? Yes, we do. Not as often as some other bets, but we certainly do. Did I see another one? No. Okay. Southampton versus Watford now. A general rule of thumb, generally you don't bet on bad teams, and these are 2 bad teams, 19th and 20th. Now, Martin, I did hear you say that you thought that Southampton should have won the game. They're at home, 2.15. They're winless at home right now. Is it time to back them to win at home?
Perhaps, but then again, I would be a little bit wary of Watford because they had a decent win against Norwich recently in one of those battle of the relegation threatened clubs. I just thought Southampton were pretty good going forwards despite their bad finishing, but they were horrendous at the back as usual. They just allowed Lacazette to walk in twice and score. So I'm just going to go both teams to score in this one. 2 of the league's worst defences. Neither of them are particularly exciting going forwards, but I think there's just going to be enough opportunities to get on the score sheet for both sets of forwards in this one. So I'm anticipating a reasonably interesting game down there, and you can get 1.79 on both teams to score.
Yeah, that was a strong lean. I'm glad you went for that one. I think so as well. Not great going forward, but definitely leaky in the defence. I think it's going to be a bit messy, and I think we're going to see goals. Both teams to score 1.79.
I'm putting a line for it, and I only put a line for it because I think both teams need to win. Southampton's games have got Watford, Norwich, Villa coming up, and there's one other that are down there that they've got to play. So I did an interview with Southampton Radio a couple of weeks ago and said, listen, forget the Arsenal game, but the next 5 games are all winnable. I mean, this could even end up 0-0. I mean, obviously, the favourites are going to be maybe a 1-1 or an Alex Classic. Who knows who's going to win? I think Watford are great value at 3.62, but I've got to leave the game alone because I've got no confidence in Southampton and I've got no confidence in Watford.
Yeah. Ulrich says Alex Classic, and then Shamil says Alex Classic on Southampton. King George, you're going a little bit on against the grain on some of these bets. He's going win to nil.
Southampton win to nil?
Yes. Southampton to win to nil. My banker.
Go on, King Jorge.
Jorge.
Oh,
I saw George there again.
See
I believe you can see with your eyesight from over there. Hey?
No, I'm always using the chat these days with these people.
I know you are. I test you when you're hosting.
Oh, no, yeah.
Flash, what's for dinner?
And I've got a computer.
Flash, are you on it?
I was typing the other day, and some of the keys didn't work, and Rafa did warn me, and it just happened to be the word that I was like, it was like, bleh. I was like, oh, I'll just delete it.
But I definitely, why not make it an Alex Classic? I have to say, I've just got written down here both teams to score. I mean, I guess an Alex Classic is going to be around 2.1, Martin, for the Saints-Watford game.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. Probably, what's over 2.5 goals? Hang on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's 2.1.
Really?
Over 2.5 goals is 1.98. So
Ooh,
I'd
so like
suggest you get
2.5 or
better
something.
odds than that.
No chance, 2.5. You've gone to that
No,
flash
but that's
bookie.
but no, it's the Alex Classic.
I know, but it won't be the
Yeah,
Alex
but both
Classic.
teams to score is like 1.79.
You'll be lucky to get 2.2.
I reckon you get higher.
Come on, well,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think.
we'll see. Go to flash bookie.
I'll tell you what. I'll go over to the flash bookie because I know what bookie you use, and I'll see what they're saying.
He uses
hang
his
on.
very own. It's inside his head. That's where his bookie lies. It doesn't exist. It's not on odds market flash bookie, is it?
No,
you can't
no,
compare
no,
prices
no,
and odds
exactly.
of flashes odds on his.
We're an independent.
2.25.
There you go.
You called it 2.5.
2.5. You're even trying to nick the bits.
I said, well, it was like 2.1, and then I went to 2.5.
That's a big jump, that. That's like Alex Classic over 4.5. No, listen, there's great value in that Alex Classic. I really do believe that. I just couldn't pick the winner myself.
Okay, Norwich Arsenal now. Norwich 4.75, Arsenal 1.89. A few pointers I've written down here. A game to avoid at all costs. Arsenal should and can keep the job done, but they have their Europa League game today. Yes, they haven't won in 5. They've drawn in 3 of those. They should get the job done, but can you count on them, Martin? I know your. I actually know your answer. Okay,
No, I've got a bet on this one now.
You do?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I just think it's unbelievable value.
Okay. Win to nil.
Yeah, that's great
Yeah.
value. That comes in once in a blue moon, and I've already seen that blue moon.
They say like the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same
thing and
yeah,
get
right.
expect a
But
different
this is a couple
result.
of times. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going near and win to nil again.
Right. So what are you going for now?
I'm going for the draw. I think the draw is
yeah.
unbelievable value at 4.1, and the reason I'm doing it is I think there's a massive cash out opportunity. I think at some stage in the second half, this game will be a draw and it will trade around even money, if not odds on. So I will tell you now that I'm going for the draw at 4.1, and I will cash out and take profits unless Arsenal blow them away.
I was thinking both teams to score, but then
Yeah, 1-1. We like that.
No, but the problem is Norwich haven't scored in 3 of their last 5. So you're like,
That's won
oh
2-0
god,
last
it's
week.
like. Yeah, but I said haven't scored in 3 of their last 5, 3 games.
Oh right, yeah.
Of their last 5, and so
didn't
here I
score.
am. I'm
No,
trying to
you're
bet on
right.
you're like and then I'm like, why? We have 10 matches here. Why am I betting on this game?
Oh, only because of this. That's the only reason you'd be getting involved, because Arsenal are so underpriced away from home for what they've achieved. This is, I mean, Norwich have beaten Man City. Now, this is a different Norwich side, I know, because they hadn't scored for like 5 out of 7 games. I mean, maybe they didn't. I tell you what, I wrote the article last week. I was so bullish on Everton. I don't think they'd scored since the 15th of September. And then Everton, banker. Everton minus 1.75. You know, I didn't realise they had to win by 63 goals. And then Norwich cruised. They won 2-0. Mm-hmm. So at home. It's crazy. I can't. I'm going to go with the draw.
We did the ACCA, didn't we? Everton, Liverpool, as well.
Yeah, it was rude.
Everton, Arsenal. Martin, what are you going for in the Arsenal match?
Oh no, it's a definite pass from me. I can't be going anywhere near Arsenal right now. I stopped betting on them a couple of weeks ago, and they've just grown worse and worse ever since I did. I think the only way for Arsenal to try to rescue this season now is to get rid of Unai Emery. The tactics are terrible. The team selections are baffling. He obviously can't communicate with his players. I mean, it's the worst start that Arsenal have had to a season in 37 years. They're getting worse and worse. They haven't won for as long as I can remember. That game against Southampton was just a joke. I mean, on paper, they should beat Norwich hands down. There are better players across the board, but Norwich could easily turn them over. The way this defence is playing, he might go 3 at the back again with 2 holding midfielders, and you just can't get the ball to Aubameyang and Lacazette. It could go anyway. I mean, if Arsenal get the bit between their teeth and actually play well, they could win. You just never know. So I'm staying well away from it, I'm afraid.
There's no value. There's no value at 1.89. Absolutely.
Are you
not.
watching any of the Arsenal games at the moment, or is it just the TV off? You just don't want to put yourself through 90 minutes of misery?
No, I'm watching them all. It's like just like watching a car crash that lasts 90 minutes, and you're just like, oh. But I'm still watching it. A glutton for punishment. I'm praying for the day that we get a new manager and try to sort this mess out.
Well, you should do what I'm doing with the Manchester United games and just bet against Manchester United. So even if your team are losing, you're kind of excited that the other team is, and it's so far. It's working for me. All right, next match, Wolves versus Sheffield United. And actually, talking about Sheffield United, they played Manchester, they drew last weekend. So I have to say, Wolves obviously quite a lower price there, price at 2 compared to Sheffield United at 4.5. They're 5th and 6th respectively, both having good seasons. Wolves struggled a bit, I think, with their Europa League commitments, but they seem to be finding form and coping with the sort of the extra commitment. But I do really have a soft spot for this Sheffield United, I have to say. They're on the road. The price 4.5 is very nice. But you can play Sheffield and the draw as well at 1.96. Does anybody think that Wolves have got this one? Price 2?
No.
Maybe. It's probably a draw, isn't it? I'd be leaning towards Wolves out of the two of them, but both teams are in exceptional form. Neither team's lost for a long, long time. I feel like Sheffield United are probably a bit better at home than they are away, but they've looked remarkably solid of late. Wolves are playing now. The game's about to end. It's 3-3 with Braga away in Portugal. So they could be a little bit more fatigued by the time they've flown back from Portugal, which could be an issue. I think, this has to be a pass from me, I'm afraid, this one. It could go either way. I'd be leaning towards Wolves just about, but could easily be a draw. And, I mean, Sheffield United have been remarkable in defence recently, and then they just drew 3-3 with Man United. So leave it alone, I think.
Yeah. I have to say, because I was thinking as well, is this a good time to back Sheffield United based on the fact that Wolves are coming away from a Europa League commitment? But last round, they played Europa League and then went on to beat Aston Villa. So I was thinking, I don't know. So that obviously that didn't say much. So what are you playing?
No. I think could well be a draw. I wouldn't go against Sheffield United, especially with Wolves. Both of them are draw specialists. If you put a gun to my head, I'd probably go unders. And expect maybe a 0-0 or 1-1. You know what Chris Wilder's going to do. We've told you before the season even started. He will make sure that they are set up. They battle from the 1st to the 95th minute. And when their chance comes along, listen, there's not one player probably at Sheffield United that would automatically spring off someone's tongue and think that you could put them into the Wolves side. But as a group, as a chain, they are as strong as anything outside the top 6. So for me, leave the game alone, and I just hope that Sheffield United continue doing what they do, because I think they're a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I think looking on the chat here, definitely the strongest opinions on this match, and it really screams draw all the way. Sheffield United wouldn't surprise me. James Lyons, hi, good to see your name come up here. Draw Sheffield. We've got another one, the 2 draw masters under 2.5 goals. Another big pattern here, draw, says Don07. So the draw is looking like it. I was also thinking both teams to score, though. If it's a draw, I think it's a score draw, like a 1-1.
Martin, what price is the draw half time?
Oh, you'll have to give me a.
You do realise you would do your homework on this, and that's why you have to have a computer.
No, I'm just because
Well,
what I'm doing is I'm collating. Yeah,
There's
they
one on
can
the floor
stay there and
over
all.
there.
Some of the keys don't work.
That was my old
2
laptop.
I bet.
Five.
I've got your hand-me-downs again.
I got.
Sorry?
2.05.
Oh, I'm so tempted. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make that official.
Draw at half time.
Draw half time at 2.05. I mean, there's definitely worse bets on the card.
What about second highest
care
scoring
then.
half being second?
No, because I think it could finish 0-0.
Do you? Ooh, I'm still itching to take Sheffield United and the draw at 1.96 and both teams to score at 2.1. But I'm just so on the fence. Okay, we will move along. Leicester versus Everton now. Leicester 1.66. What a price for a team. 6 wins on a row. Playing really an Everton side that pale in comparison. They have 1 road win. I think, to be honest with you, it is an absolute gift from the bookies. Stick it in your ACCA, 1.66. Make it a -1. 2.22, can you believe? I'm liking the both. And you can actually get Leicester 1.68 if you shop around on oddsmarket.com. Martin, what do you like?
Yeah, I think it's the story of the season, really. The way that Leicester have been playing, they've been absolutely fantastic. They're sort of playing like they did when they won the title. If it wasn't for how exceptionally that Liverpool have started, I think we'd be looking at perhaps a team that's really going to go on and challenge for it. Yeah, they've been fantastic. I've been backing them heavily throughout. I'm going to keep backing them until they let me down, which they haven't done for a while. Everton, we all saw, were absolutely dreadful. They passing messages over there. Yeah, they got beaten by Norwich last time out, which was very poor. So I think at home looks like a good option. I've got 2.0 even money on Leicester and the over 1.5 goals in the game. Very rare that you see Leicester win 1-0. They just beat Brighton 2-0, Arsenal 2-0 and Crystal Palace 2-0 in their last 3 games. I think they score at least 2 in this one with the way that Vardy's been playing.
Yeah. Vano likes that one as well. Leicester and the over 1.5 goals. What are you going for?
I'm going for Leicester minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap. I was 1.75 and that was 2.6. So if I can get a price on that, that would be great. I've done an article over on Odds Market. It is already up. I've got Leicester to absolutely crush Everton. Everton are flat track bullies. They only get results against teams that are at the bottom. They cannot be relied on. Their tempo is so slow. They are not a team. They're like a bunch of individuals. I've got to go against Everton after what they did last week, and when I had friends at the game, they said that Flash, they were a complete and utter joke. So I've got to go with my friends and say that Leicester will crush them. I wouldn't put anyone off Vardy anytime. And also they tell me that Leicester are actually playing a 4-1-4-1, that when the ball breaks down, they want to hunt the ball in the opposing half. So then they've got 5 attacking players. And obviously Maddison's probably going to be Young Player of the Year, or he's definitely going to be in the mix. So for me, I've gone Leicester minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap. And I need a price, please.
Well, whilst
2.8.
2.8. 2.8, or are you going to change that?
2.8 if
So
you
he
go
jumps
to
to 1.8.
Unibet or 888 Sport.
Minus 1.5 at 2.8. I love that.
we've got, and I feel I'm going to pronounce the name wrong, Inoj Maya. Everton. Inoji. Everton to win or draw 2.20. Banker.
No, Inoji, come on.
Banker.
He's having a right guess up. Where are you from? Write down where you're from. We're going to send the men in white coats round now.
Yeah, after they've been dealing with you with the Arsenal win to 0, he knows
he
knows the men in white coat. Yeah, exactly. We just unleashed him just for the show, and then we're going to put him back in. Leicester 1.68, Leicester -1 2.2. Manchester United, final game here. Manchester United versus Aston Villa. I've very little thoughts just on Manchester United. I feel crushed. A little bit like how Martin is feeling. I was thinking, though, both teams to score at 1.85. I think the Villains can find the back of the net, as can Manchester United at Old Trafford. Both teams to score 1.85. What do you think of that bet?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah?
Love it. I'm so close to pulling the trigger on Villa, to be honest, at 6.2,
right?
because Man United's midfield is weaker. It's like paper. It's so flimsy. There's no creativity in there. I mean, I want to pull the trigger on Villa at 6.2. I really do. What's Villa double chance? What's Villa double chance? That's what I need. I need Villa double chance, please.
And you need a laptop to find all these odds.
No, because I'm like... I've just watched, and I know that Man United they're going to have everyone at home.
I mean, you've got both teams to score, though. Are you changing your mind?
At 1.85. I'm trying to collate all the information, put it into the computer, and see what comes out. I'm leaving it.
2.6.
Who?
2.6 if you want Aston Villa in the draw double chance.
Oh, that's a good price, isn't it?
Yeah.
They are on a roll. They're on a real roll.
Yeah, but I was thinking this as well. I'm glad I took Sheffield United and the draw last weekend.
No, I agree
and I
with
was
that.
so close to going Sheffield. But I think if you want, in long term, if you want to get the value, just keep going for those prices, 6.2, and fade Manchester United. I think it's going to come through.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's stopping me from pulling the trigger on this one is that Manchester United, every single one of the players that will play against Villa, didn't travel to Astana, hasn't played, has a week off. And it's almost as if Sir Alex has said to Ollie, concentrate now, get points in the Premier League, get on a run, and make sure the boys are fresh. I'm going to leave it. I'm leaving it. Official leave.
Yeah, I think,
Because I think that Sir Alex is now going to pull Ole Gunnar Solskjaer through.
We've got Ibra thinks correct score Manchester United 2-1, but there was somebody else here. I think it's Ayub. It says no, it's not. It's Arthur. Where is that message? Manchester win 2-0, and then we've got Mavano. Manchester United -3 way handicap at 2.26. So Martin, what is your bet?
I'm going to go for the same bet that I had last time out. Man United to win and over 1.5 goals at odds of 1.75. Aston Villa have lost 5 of their 6 away games so far this season. Don't rate them particularly highly. I mean, we know that Man United have been terrible, but Man United do still have some high-quality players going forward. They beat Brighton 3-1 in their last game. I could see this being 2-1, 3-1 to Man United. So, odds of 1.75. I am going for Man United win and over 1.5 goals. I think they'll get the job done there.
All right, let's hope. Let's hope. Mavano says Aston Villa can't defend like Sheffield United. All right, I think that wraps it up. We've gone through all 10 games, I believe. I don't think I've missed any off the card. All right, so we're going to run through. Actually, before we do, Rafa itching to go with those graphics. Let's see how we are doing. Week 14. What are we about? A third of the way through?
Just over.
Just over. 19.1 units of profit. That is collectively as a team. Flash, Martin, and also Dave Betts is also included in that. He writes some Premier League tips over for us on Odds Market. Look at Dave. Dave, 9.2 units of profit. Flashes had a bad couple of weeks, -11. And Martin, 20.9 units of profit. Jesus.
Well done, my lad. Well
Look
done.
at that, 52 wins and 35 losses. You're 57.1% accurate. Look, Mr. Money Martin Green. Yes, all right.
Yeah,
so now you've seen the record. Let us start off with Mr. Money Martin Green. What are you going for?
Well, hopefully we can keep the run going. I'm going to go for Man City and the under 4.5 goals at 1.67. Burnley just to win at 2.35. High odds, I think they might pull it off. Chelsea -1.5 Asian handicap at 1.83. And the same bet, Liverpool -1.5 Asian handicap at 1.7. Both teams to score in the Southampton v Watford game at 1.79. Leicester and over 1.5 goals against Everton at even money, 2.0. And again, Man United and over 1.5 goals against Aston Villa at 1.75.
Okay, I'm going Man City and under 3.5 at 2.25. I'm going Chelsea -1.5 at 1.77. I'm going Liverpool -2.5 at 2.62. Tottenham -1.5. These are all Asian handicap, by the way, 2.05. I'm going Norwich and Arsenal draw at 4.1. I'm going Wolves, Sheffield United, draw half-time at 2.05, even though someone in the chat said it is actually 2.24, but I'm going to take the 2.25. And Leicester and Everton, Leicester -1.5 at 2.8. My banker is Leicester and Everton at 2.8. And my parlay is Manchester City to win under 3.5 and Leicester to beat Everton -1.5 at 2.8.
Yeah. Did you give a banker and parlay, Martin?
I did not. Let me have a little think about that.
Say, like, the best you were saving till last was not served up.
I will go for. I'll go for a treble: Chelsea, Liverpool, and Leicester. And banker. It's got to be Liverpool -1.5 on the Asian handicap against Brighton. Better team. I think they'll turn them over.
Yeah. Before I get to mine, just quickly going to address some comments here. Harry Doherty flashes record though. Don07, time to boot flash from Costa Rica. Flash has been with us for a couple of seasons now, and you should have waited. You were like minus 30 or something until like the last couple of weeks. He actually really gets going towards the end of the season when everybody is losing money, and then Flash just storms. Remember, this is a marathon and not a sprint. He's had 2 bad weekends. The whole rest of the time he's been up. We are transparent. We display our records for you guys at home, for our own sake as well. But listen, support through the tough times. He'll bounce back.
I don't mind. No, exactly. If they
give
watch,
me your words of...
exactly. Or they could go and watch the NFL record or the lower league record. Or I'm just getting beat up, but I'm part of a winning team. So listen, even bad players get winners' medals.
Yeah. And also, actually reminds me, so some people don't realise this, but Odds Market is a sister site to Sportsbook Review. And tonight, Flash is joining Jay Paglia on Sportsbook Review for the live line. It's live in-play betting for you guys that enjoy US sports, live in-play betting. And they film Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays, and are killing it. It's all live play bets. So, if you've not had enough of this guy for today, he'll be on a bit later. Or if you've had enough,
New Orleans Saints versus the Falcons.
Okay, I'm really liking under 3.5 goals, 1.8 in the Newcastle Man City game, and I'm making that my banker. I'm going to decide to follow my Mr. Money Man Martin on the Burnley win at 2.35. I am going for Chelsea and the under 4.5 goals at 1.83. I do also like Chelsea minus 1.5 at 1.77, but just sticking to one bet because it's got higher odds. I'm going for Liverpool in the under 4.5 goals at 1.65. Absolute no play Spurs game. Southampton, Watford, both teams to score at 1.79. 2 bets on this game. Leicester 1.68 and Leicester minus 1 at 2.22. And you know what? I'm going to skip the Manchester United game, although a heavy lean on the both teams to score at 1.85. My parlay absolutely is Leicester, and I'm going to go throw in as well. I'm going to do Chelsea, Liverpool, and Leicester, a 3-team parlay on that one. All right, there we go. I think that is it. No, sorry, I missed one. I'm going for Wolves, Sheffield, both teams to score.
Can you
2.1.
just mention Alexandru Stefanescu? He's always on our chat for the NFL shows and things like that. It says, Flash, please stop with the Packers. Packers win going to the Giants this week by minus 6.5. You watch them bounce back.
Why is he telling you to stop?
Because I was on them last week and I've been on them all season.
And are you winning or losing?
Oh, yeah, no, winning, but they got beat last week against the 49ers. 49ers are the second best team in the NFL, but they got absolutely battered last weekend. But they'll bounce back this weekend because they're going up against a non-defense of the New York Giants. But let's not cross over sports.
No, well, I will quickly ask you, though, who do you think is making the Super Bowl?
Baltimore versus... I want to say the Eagles when they're fit because I put my money on the Eagles as well, but I think it'll be Baltimore versus the Saints.
Really? Who do you think will make this Super Bowl, Martin?
I'd love it. I'm an Eagles fan. I'd love to see the Eagles get to the Super Bowl. They'd have to have a massive improvement in their form, wouldn't they? I've just been very, very impressed with the 49ers defense at the moment. Can't really look past them at the moment.
They play the Ravens this weekend and they're minus 6.
You should bring Martin on your NFL show now and again. Yeah.
Great.
So join tomorrow. Flash you've got your NFL show. When's your lower league show?
Tomorrow afternoon as well.
Tomorrow afternoon as well. I did see a comment up there that there was somebody who was doing a parlay and they were waiting for some of your lower league players. I think that's
do them tomorrow.
Yeah,
the banker. Oh, by the way, the banker went in again last week at 1.9. We couldn't believe it. We thought it should be 1.5, and Northampton beat Grimsby 2-0 at home. It was an unbelievable gift from the gods.
All right, guys, thank you very much for watching us. Best of luck with your tips at home. We'll be back again same time next week. And Martin and Flash, thank you. Take care.
Good luck,
Happy
Mark.
Thanksgiving.
Take care.
Yes. Thanks, guys.